Iran memperingatkan akan meninggalkan komitmen dalam nota kesepahaman dengan Amerika Serikat jika Washington terus melakukan pelanggaran yang dituduhkan Teheran. Perwakilan Tetap Iran untuk Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa, Amir Saeid Iravani, menyebut Amerika Serikat telah melanggar kesepakatan dengan melakukan serangan militer terhadap wilayah Iran pada 7 dan 8 Juli. Teheran menegaskan tetap berkomitmen pada kesepakatan tersebut selama Amerika Serikat menjalankan kewajibannya. Iran juga memperingatkan bahwa upaya pihak luar terkait pengaturan baru di Selat Hormuz dapat meningkatkan ketegangan kawasan. Sebelumnya, AS dan Iran menandatangani nota kesepahaman pada 17 Juni yang bertujuan menghentikan konflik dan membuka ruang negosiasi menuju kesepakatan permanen. Namun, kedua pihak masih saling menuding melanggar perjanjian.
Iran categorically reject the politically motivated allegation made today by France, UK and US regarding its peaceful nuclear program. Their claims are a deliberate attempt to distort Resolution 2231, misrepresent the facts and misuse the Security Council for narrow political purposes. The root cause of the current situation is well known. It lies in the United States' unlawful withdrawal from the JCPOA on 2018, the continued failure of the E3 to fulfill their commitment, and the unlawful military attacks carried out by the United States and Israeli regime against Iran, including attacks on IAEA safeguard nuclear facilities in June 2025 and again on 28 February 2026. Iran has consistently rejected weapons of mass destruction. Its nuclear program has never been diverted to military purposes and has remained exclusively peaceful under the most extensive IAEA verification regime. Yet, instead of condemning and holding accountability the United States and the Israeli regime for their unlawful attacks on Iran IAEA safeguard nuclear facilities, some Council members, particularly France, have sought to shift responsibility onto the victim. The United States and the Israeli regime bear a full responsibility for the consequences of this unlawful act and must be held fully accountable. The United States has once again violated its obligation by launching and continuing large-scale military attacks against Iran's sovereignty and territorial integrity, including attacks on installations in the southern cities of Iran and several Iranian islands in the Persian Gulf on 7th and 8th of July. These renewed attacks constitute another flagrant violation of Article 2 of the Charter and material breach of the Paragraph 1 of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, under which the United States expressly committed to cease all military actions against Iran and to refrain from the threat or use of force. The United States bears full international responsibility for all legal and political consequences arising from its unlawful action. Under the Islamabad MOU, responsibility for maritime navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, including its reopening and all necessary demining operations, rests exclusively with Iran. Any attempt by external actors to interfere with or establish parallel arrangement would violate the MOU, undermine its implementation, delay the restoration of normal commercial navigation, jeopardize maritime safety, and increase regional tensions. In light of the United States' persistent and ongoing violations of the international obligation, Iran recalls the responsibility of the Secretary General and Security Council under the UN Charter to maintain international peace and security. These responsibilities are especially important in cases of aggression, breach of the peace, and threat of international peace and security. They must take effective and decisive measures to stop the United States' unlawful act of aggression. They must prevent any further escalation. They must also ensure that the United States fully honors its obligation and is held accountable for its aggression. Its serious violation of international law and the crimes resulting from those acts. Iran remained committed to the faithful implementation of Memorandum of Understanding, provided that the United States fully and faithfully complies with its own obligation. However, should the United States continue to violate its obligation under the MOU, Iran will no longer be bound to fulfill its obligation under the MOU. I thank you.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.